My video for July the 13th, 2019 is video number 3145. The title is A Great Quote by Paul Enso Hillman. And remember now, this is a quote. I say namaste because I like what it means, not because I am Hindu. A lot of people think I am a Christian because they think I talk about Christian values. But the truth is, I am really talking about human values. I've been asked if I am a Buddhist, just because I have discussed inner peace. A lot of my friends are pagan and think I am one too, because I say that being in nature is my idea of going to church. Do you want to know what I really am? It's very simple. I don't need a label to define me. I am a piece of the universe, sentient and manifested, and I am awake. That's the end of the quote. So, what's his background? Info from his Facebook page. Works at Blessing Way Authors Services. Art director at Home Based Business. Former art director at ABC News. Former graphic designer at PBS. Former graphic designer at NBC, former art director at CBS, former graphic artist at WNEW Channel 5 News, studied at the Art Students League of New York, lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico, in a domestic partnership. I have to chuckle because I went to his Facebook page to find out more about him. After I had taken the time to type in, because I would have preferred to copy and paste, but I can't find anything that's not a full image, and you can't copy and paste text from an image. I don't like that, but that's the way it is. Anyway, he has on his Facebook page, Trump. Like it or not, he is our president. He is trying to stop illegal immigration and the influx of Muslims that murder people. He is trying to lower the national debt and put Americans back to work. He has done more in the time he has been in office than Obama did in his entire 8 years in office. Start supporting our president. Join us now, call or click. Only white Christians need apply. I have to chuckle because obviously, to me, there are a lot of black people and people of other races and nationalities and religions that support Trump. It's not just white Christians that have been brainwashed by the system to think that Israel is somehow a manifestation of God's promises, which is, of course, as I see it, a very huge deception when it's a terrorist nation that's terrorizing all of the neighbors and stealing people's homes and land. And I mean, it's an atrocity what's happening there. And I don't want to even get off on that tangent too much, but I just did, didn't I? Anyway, I really liked the quote because people have been trying to label me for a long time as well. What are you, Ron? You were raised a Christian. You've spoken in all sorts of churches of various Christian denominations over the course of your life. You've published the Well Ministries and other apparently Christian publications. You've been involved in so many things over your life. You've been involved in politics. You've been involved in various other religions besides Christianity. You've been a Buddhist. You've been a Muslim. You've invited into your own home. You've invited Muslims to come and Muslims to come and speak. Even the imam of the local Muslim community. You've invited him 3 times into your house, and you've invited the women into your house to talk about why they mask their faces and wear the traditional dressing that many Hindus wear. Yes, I have tried to build bridges. And I say namaste for the same reasons he does, because it means I recognize that we ultimately, when all the labels are stripped away, we ultimately come from the same stock. Now, do I believe that every human that looks like a human being on this planet comes from the same stock? Well, I used to. I wonder though, when I took which one was it? The red pill, I guess. The red pill that I put on the glasses and I could see that what looked like human beings were actually very not monsters, I guess you could say, underneath the masks. And certainly a lot of humans or people that appear to be human act like monsters. They do not have an agenda for loving one another or for peace on earth because that's just simply not in the game plan. Unfortunately, it's not. I'd like to think that we are all coming from a life force, a common life force. But how can machines come from a life force at all? Although all elements are from life forces. So, how do you answer that? See, there are many questions that thinking people simply cannot easily answer. So I was surprised when this man who seems to be liberated in much of his thought says that only white Christians need apply, and then he posts that because he's again doing some of the same things that he's apparently criticizing others for doing in that great quote of his. And I'm not trying to criticize him because many people fall into these traps. I have fallen into various traps myself, not so far as race goes, but there's been things that I have believed politically were true that weren't. And of course, I've already talked about in previous recent videos about recognizing finally that the Bible had to have a lot of error mixed in with it. It's not 100% inspired word of God. And of course, many Christians believe that it is. It's infallible word of God. No, it's not. It's a document that has been greatly, greatly compromised. And there's truth there, but you've got to sift through it. You've got to use discernment. I know I've said that in recent videos as well. What is discernment? It's using wise judgment. It's going inside and looking at the heart. And is it love? Is it true? Or is it something that has an agenda attached to it that divides us and makes us think that our group, is superior to other groups that see things differently? Yeah, namaste. I recognize that we are all on a spiritual path of self-discovery. We need to discover who we are. And when we discover who we are, that we are connected to a higher power, to a unitary source and force for good, not for evil. When we recognize that, the barriers come down, the walls fall, and we learn how to listen and to build bridges and to make peace within ourselves, for ourselves, and to make peace with the environment to the best of our ability. And I ask, as I say those words, I ask myself the question, Ron, are you at peace with yourself? I guess the truthful answer is not completely, because I keep trying to make the inner and the outer mesh so that the world that I'm living in truly reflects the world that I have experienced inside of myself, the world where everything is one, that is light and not darkness, that is truth and not error. I've experienced that, or at least I thought I did at different times. What's the true answer? It's a great quote, Paul. Sorry you had to put the thing about white Christians only need apply in it. Namaste.